All right, guys, it's time for the Florida Panthers season preview. Did anyone say three-peat?
I didn't.
No,
No.
no, because I really feel like this might be the best chance we've had at a three-peat in a long time. Yeah, look, guys, Florida Panthers, back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. You really can't ask for for much better than that. Um, one Stanley Cup is fantastic, let alone two. So, yeah, obviously it's been fantastic far for the Florida Panthers last two seasons. And honestly, before we even look at the lineup, it's really looking like a three-peat is on the cards. I feel like this video might be real quick, just purely from that
Yeah.
fact that
It might be a
it's
short video, not
absolutely
because we
insane.
hate the Florida Panthers or anything. It's just what do you talk about?
Other than that, they're going to be a cup contender again. But yeah, I guess I'll hand over to you, Jaden. You can
Yeah. So
ridiculous
st-
lineup.
starting off, we got Barkov, Kachuk, Reinhardt, Bennett, Verhage, Marchand, Lundell, Rodriguez, Lusterainen. Rodriguez or Lusterainen probably out. Um, Boquist, Greer, Gadjevich, Nosek, and Samaskevich. Seth Jones, Ekblad, Forsling, Mikola, Kulikov, Belinsky, and Jeff Petrie. And then obviously your goaltending, you've got Bobrovsky and Tarasov. Um, Trades, they brought in Tarasov, Vanacek out, 7 games, has a ring type cup type thing. Kind of crazy.
Instrumental in that cup run, all right?
He was
Instrumental.
pivotal. When he said those words that I don't know what he said on the bench, changed
Yeah.
everything. Um, uh, sort of went to Washington. In regards to free agency signings, just a lot of depth signings. Like bringing in like Cunnin, Jeff Petrie, Thomas Nosek was extended, Nolan Foote coming in, like just a lot of two-way contracts as well. So a lot of depth, which really helps out this team that's pretty stacked in regards to top lines. Yeah, like three-peat. What do you say? Obviously, they are over the cap, 3.7 mil, and they will have to drop one forward, which is like 800,000. So then you got 3 mil to get rid of. So that leaves basically Rodriguez or Lusterainen on the chopping block. Take your pick.
Mhm.
But one of those kind of has to go to get cap compliant. And unless you're going to do some big trade with some of the big names, which I do not see.
Mm.
So yeah, one of those players do go, but still depth is crazy. So strongest team on
Yeah,
paper by far.
I mean, my God, like we looked at Tampa when their run, and it was like after every season, it was like, oh, that's a big loss.
Yeah,
That's a decent loss. That's a decent loss. How are they going to back it up? And they obviously made three cup finals in a row, like Florida have. Um, but this Florida team, they've done what Tampa did in reverse, lost the cup first, and then went on and won two. But this team is still as stacked as it was for the cup last season. So like
yeah.
it's
Well,
why
they
it's
well
hard.
look, they lost Nico Stern and Vanacek. Like,
Yeah, like
okay.
okay, no worries. And yeah, look, the biggest loss that they're gonna obviously have is yes, they're gonna have to lose probably a Lucianen or a
Yeah,
Rodriguez, unless of course they were to pull off some ridiculous move that saw one of their bigger players go out for another bigger player in return that was worth 3 mil less, maybe. But Lucianen and Rodriguez look to be the two that are on the chopping block.
yeah,
But even still, like, it's still a ridiculously good team going into the season. Like this is a team that just won the cup. You'd be happy to take this into this cup run. If they got to the trade deadline and did nothing, you'd be happy with this team. You'd be like, yep, this is a team we know can win the cup. Done. It's just phenomenal the way they kept it. Like everyone was talking Chan where Ekblad would he sign? Probably not. He's going to be out. Bennett is going to head
yeah.
off elsewhere.
Toronto
Going
fans
to
were like,
cost.
we're gonna go for Bennett or Marchand. Like, yeah,
Marchand signs for less than he should. Bennett signed for less than he probably could have gotten elsewhere. Ekblad signs for less than he should. Like it's just it. what they have done is phenomenal. And yeah, you can go tax haven all you want, but
Nah,
you
the thing I hate about that talking point, sorry to cut you off, is like Florida had done nothing for the
up until this
up
point,
until this
yeah,
point. Like, and just because Florida and Tampa do good at this point, it's like, well, yeah, one, it's a nice state to live in because of temperature. Not the hurricanes. And you do better with taxes. Like, there's
yeah,
a lot of positives there, but like Vegas has a lot of positives for players as well. Um,
yeah. But you
but
still need the management to do the right thing,
the
right?
management
Like
has been like top tier, top tier.
it's exactly like it definitely gives you an advantage. But if it is a poorly managed team in a tax haven state, you're still going to struggle. There are other tax haven teams that aren't winning cups year after year. Like these two, Tampa and Florida, they've done it because they've literally hired and put in place the correct management. They've run this structure well that has led to this team being built, and that's led to their cups. But yeah, like I mean, I I'm not betting against them to not win a three-peat. I'm actually thinking that this season they're only going to score 94 points in the regular season
Mm.
and win the cup. Um,
It kind of feels like
they're
who
going to
beats them wins the cup. Like if someone team beats them, or they beat them, but because it's Florida, like Florida beat them so bad, like physically, that they're sore for the Stanley Cup, and then that's how the West team wins.
yeah,
Those are the two scenarios I see if Florida don't win the cup. Is
yeah,
that
and
the other team either wins the cup or they are so bruised from facing Florida they don't win.
And don't get me wrong, as much as I like to see rotation of cup winners because I think that's the best. I think in any sport, when you see the same team win it year after year after year after year after year, it gets a little bit mundane. And especially
Yes.
if they won it here and won it here and then won it again here and then here, and
Yeah.
it's like, no, we've seen you enough. Go away. But in saying that, it's been a very long time since we've had a three-peat. I wouldn't be against it at
Was it
this point.
1990, wasn't it? With Oilers? Um,
Oilers might have been, yeah. It's been a
99.
long time. That's all I know. Um, and that'd be a great stat to just to pull up to rub into Canadian fans. Is yeah, the last three Pete was a Canadian team, and that was the last time you won anything. Unfortunately, not a dig at Canadian fans. We love like, um, but yeah, like it's hard to bet against these guys. They're strong as all hell. They're gonna basically go in again, and we know that um they don't even have to be at top level. They don't even have to be at their best. They don't even have to be fully fit. We saw what Matthew Kachuk did last season in the playoffs, and he was probably 70% broken. Um, it's just how fantastic these guys have been. And yeah, I mean, if you're a Florida fan, I would lap this up because
Yeah.
I think you're going to be
My
strong for
my
another
only concern for
several
this team
years.
is like their regular season can be lackluster at points. And that's my only concern for them. But they always turn it on when it's needed, and that's all you need. But that would be my only concern for this team is they don't make the playoffs because their regular season lacklusters, and then you have Ottawa, Montreal being and maybe Toronto and all that being like regular season heroes and then do nothing in the playoffs.
Yeah,
That's the only scenario I could see where like
yeah,
it goes sour for this team.
yeah.
The odds of that happening are not great in my eyes, but yeah.
Yeah, and I think the reason for that is because they're too good of a team to let that happen. I don't think they had a poor regular season
I think they got
because they
too
were
good of
terrible.
leadership to let that happen. Like the,
Yeah,
the
I think they knew what they
that's
were
things
doing.
that nobody talks about. Like the leadership on this team is insane.
Yeah,
Like that, like the team culture, like the locker room atmosphere, I think is insane. I think there's not much to point at with this team where you're like, oh, that's bad.
you
Uh,
can't point holes into them
no.
outside of like, oh, they hit me hard in the playoffs and they might do a couple of
Yeah,
dog
I think
things.
they do
Like,
dodgy shit in the playoffs that should be called, but we
There's a
know,
lot of teams that do that
but
though.
playoffs need to be
But
done properly for everyone,
yes,
and
yeah,
it's going to keep
for
happening until they start officiating it, which doesn't seem to be the case. So you're going to keep seeing teams like Florida, who beat the crap out of you, continue to thrive when it comes playoff time.
yeah, they
And
take advantage of the rule set that's available to them. Like
yeah, what do you mean the rules
you
don't
can,
change? It's the same rules. What do you mean?
yeah, exactly. But yeah, like what else can you really say about this team? Like they're a championship team. They're still a championship team. If they're not the favorites to win the cup, I don't know how that's not the case because nothing's changed and they just won a cup.
Yeah,
Like the only thing you could say is that the amount of games they've played because they played 3 consecutive cups maybe catches up to them. But again, we've seen how they manage their players throughout the season. They finished third in the Atlantic, only 98, and that's because they were like, okay, well you're injured, well nick off, go heal for a bit. We might lose some games because we're not at full strength, but it's fine. We'll get to the playoffs. Everyone will come back healthy. So they just monitor their minutes and their players so well to ensure that come playoffs they're ready to go. Some people don't like that because they think that it's the IR cheat thing and all the rest of that sort of stuff. Yep, that can be questionable, but the way they manage these players' minutes is phenomenal. And you can only do that when you have a team to still get enough points
besides
to get you in the
Bobrovsky.
playoffs.
Besides Bobrovsky, like he plays all minutes. That man is the goat on holding that up. But
Considering 3 years ago, everyone was going, this is the worst contract that's ever been signed, and now it's like Hall of Fame, that guy.
well, that's all you have to do is win cups. It doesn't matter what you do. You win cups, you go, oh, everything doesn't matter. Like, yeah, you could sign me for 20 million. I do nothing for 10 years, then I win a three-peat, and I'm a Hall of Fame best player of all time. Like that, it's kind of how it is. Um,
Mhm.
and look, there's reason for it. It's 1 in 32 chance every year of winning a cup. So it is big, and obviously it's gotten bigger because they keep adding teams. Hopefully they don't keep adding teams because I think we're at capacity. But yeah, I got not much more to say. This team is just they're running it back. Haven't lost much. They add a lot of depth, which they needed to add. Really, only going to lose like Rodriguez or Luosterainen, and they've added Nosek and Nolan Foot and all these other depth players that can fill those shoes to an extent. Jesper Boquist did well, and he's filled that depth role pretty well. And we highlight how good that top line is, but those depth players do play a big part in solidifying and not conceding goals greatly. And yeah, I I don't know if they're my favorite. They're probably my favorite. It's hard to go against a team that's won 2 in a row and hasn't really changed.
Yeah.
Um, I think they're my favorite just because I'm not seeing someone out bullying them in the
Mm.
playoffs. I don't see someone physically out bullying them. Like sometimes I think Dallas could out bully them, but then they got some softies there too. So
Mm.
and that's probably why Oilers have been all right against them in the last 2 years is because they can do some of the bullying back. But
Mm.
yeah, I think they're going to bully their way to a three-peat at this time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to see them not doing it, that's for sure. They're built for playoffs.
Mm.
There's not much else you can say.
All right, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below what you think the Florida Panthers do. They three-peat? Do they not? And yeah, let us know what you think of our analysis. But till next time, we'll catch you guys.
See you guys.